Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about our G80 M3 shop car again. For you guys that have watched us step by step, you'll remember when this car was standard, stage 1, stage 2. And for you guys that have seen our latest videos, you'll know that our car is now on hybrid turbos with ethanol. Well, we've been pushing on it really hard. We're matching the times with a Bugatti Chiron with a 3.700 to 200. We're over 1,000 brake, and we're still on a stock engine and we're still on a stock gearbox. But that gearbox is on the absolute limit, and we've made the decision that it's time to uprate it. Our G80 has the strongest BMW 8 HP available, but what sort of power can it actually handle? Well, 700, 800, 900 brake was no problem at all. When we kept the stock turbos on, this gearbox done really well. We took it to Santa Pod, a lot of quarter mile work, a lot of launch controls, and it was perfect. Now we've stepped up the power past 1,000 brake with the hybrid turbos. We're noticing once it gets hot, the shifts are not quite as sharp as they should be, and we know that that's given us an indication that the lifespan of it is being massively reduced. We know that we need to upgrade this, and we're doing it before the box completely lets go. Later in the video, we're going to be stripping down our gearbox and actually having a look at the condition of the clutch packs and see how bad they actually are. It seems in the UK at the moment, it's actually easier to get your engine built than it is your gearbox. Finding a good solid gearbox solution in the UK is really difficult, and a lot of people are shipping their gearboxes all around the world to try to get them uprated. For us and for our customers, that's a solution that's just not going to work. And luckily, we found a company called Kotty Performance that make their own upgraded gearbox internals. We're now a dealer from them. They actually came all the way over from Germany and helped walk us through their installation process. In my hands here, I've got a small part of the kit. So you're going to find in the gearbox, there's actually 5 clutches, and we upgrade 4 of those, with 2 of them having the hubs replaced. So the hubs can shears, the clutches slip, and this gearbox upgrade is going to stop all of that happening. We know that we can make big power without ever having to worry about the gearbox giving us any issues. With these modern BMWs making so much power, I mean a standard engine and gearbox hitting 1,000 brake, it's absolutely bonkers. We was going to find that there was other parts of the car that were going to need to be upgraded. And on ours, we've done things like the brakes, and as you can see, we're now doing the gearbox. For you guys out there that are tuning up your cars, if you find that you need a gearbox solution within the UK, we can offer them for you. And it's not just for these HP 76s. We can do the HP 75, the HP 50 and the HP 51. So you B58 guys, you guys that have got the M5s, we can provide this for you as well. We can do a same day turnaround on the gearbox, and for these cars, we're actually going to keep them on the shelf ready to go. With all the different gearbox solutions out there, why did we use Kotte Performance? Well, I've really done some research on this, and I was really interested in the bad news, not the good news. I wanted to know what gearboxes were working, what ones weren't, and what had the high success rate. My finding was that Kotte Performance are providing the best gearboxes out there. We want a solution where we can fit it into the car and forget about it. And it looks like the Kotte Performance gearbox does just that. We needed a great product, but we also wanted a company that we had great support with as well. It's no good having someone that you can't get in contact with when you've got issues. And Kotte Performance give the best customer service I think I may have seen. They didn't send us how-to video or a guide on how these kits are fitted. They flew all the way over from Germany and spent a day in our workshop going through it one-on-one. So when it comes to customer service, when it comes to a product, I really can't fault these guys. And that's why we've decided to provide their systems for you guys. So literally, while I'm making this video, Ryan is getting the gearbox out behind me. We're going to get this out and we're going to get it built. But let's have a look. The transfer case has just come off the back, so I can show you guys how the X-Drive works on these as well. On the floor here, we've got the transfer case. So this is what controls the X-Drive. On a rear-wheel drive car, you have a shaft come out the back of the gearbox and it goes into the rear differential. Well, they've added in this little component right on the back of the gearbox. And as you can see, there's this shaft. And this goes back up towards the front wheels. Well, within here is a clutch pack that's able to engage and disengage. And when that clutch pack engages, you get the front wheels turning, and when it disengages, the car is rear-wheel drive only. So if you guys that wondered how a BMW is able to be rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, this is the little unit that's responsible for that. Yep, the oil's looking a bit dirty, but we're in a position where we're able to drop this down in a minute. Here's the electrical connector that connects it to the rest of the car. On the left-hand side, you've got the oil line, so this has an oil cooler. And actually, there is a neutral switch. You can't get to it on these normally because the front shaft's in the way, but there's the manual switch to put them into neutral as well. Box is out of the car, and to say this gearbox fluid is dirty is an understatement. It is absolutely hanging. This poor box has been holding on for dear life through the abuse that we've been giving it. And to be fair, hats off to it, taking the amount of power that we've put through it without it giving us a load of jip is pretty impressive. But you can see that it was suffering inside, so not only is it nice to get a better clutch inside it, it's really good to get some fresh fluid in this. And while we're here, we're going to also be changing the fluid in the transfer case. And I reckon, what do you reckon, Ryan? We'll give the diffs a service on this within the next week or so as well.
Yeah, all new fluids.
All new fluids. So yeah. So we've got the gearbox upside down. First part of getting this stripped down is to remove this mechatronics unit. This contains all the solenoids. This is where the brain of the gearbox is stored. And on the bottom, you've got this filter. This is going to give us the first indication of what the box is looking like inside. And if we do that, we can see got some nice metallic oil on there. So new filters and new oil are going to be a must on this box. But let's stop talking. Let's get it apart. So we've got clutch A here, then we're going to go into clutch B. We've got burning, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I said, this gearbox hasn't given me any problems. We just knew we was pushing it on the edge, so it's nice to see that we haven't got no real damage in here. But you can see that it has got hot, as you can see there. So you know, with the power running, it wasn't going to last that much longer. In front of me here, I have the main basket. In this is clutch E, C and D, and if you think I'm saying it the wrong way around, that's because that's the order they're actually inside here. So we've got E, then C, then there's a separate section that contains that D clutch. If we have a look over here, we have the casing for the gearbox. Over here, we have clutch B, and sitting in the back of the oil pump, we have clutch A. Now that this basket is reassembled, this is the biggest part of the job, getting this put back together. We're going to drop this back into the casing. Once it's back in the casing, we'll get clutch B fitted, and then last part of the job for me is to change over the clutches in clutch A. And as you can see, the plates are just waiting over here, ready for me to get back in. So, reason why this is on a pallet is because I've cut a hole through it, so the output shaft can go straight through the back of the gearbox. And as we see there, that's now back in situ. The Kotty internals are in the gearbox now, but before we get it back on the car, let's have a look at the clutch packs that have come out of it. So here we have D, A, E and C. Now, all of them, you can see it's got hot, but none of them were deformed or in real bad way. But still, we could see that this box was struggling to keep up with the power it was putting through it. Have a look at A, again, tiny little marks, just demonstrating that, you know, it might have been past its limitation. Now, C and E is the ones where the hubs are replaced as well. These are the two that get the most abuse, and they're the ones which really need upgrading. But it doesn't actually look so bad. I was expecting this to look a lot worse than it does. I mean, we've got some marks there, but It's pretty light, to be honest. Again, a little bit there. If we go over the clutch A, oh, my bad. I meant to say clutch C. When we have a look, you can see this one has had a hard time as well. A lot of this demonstrates that it's got pretty hot, and there we go. But it was functioning properly. You can see there's no distortion in these plates. Nothing's warped, so it held on pretty well. Like I say, I think if we had ran it throughout the year with the additional power, doing quarter-mile work, maybe these clutch packs wouldn't be looking so good, but they definitely look a lot better than the fluid that come out of the box, that's for sure. So the car's nearly back together. We've got our Kotty transmission set up in place, but next for us is to get the exhaust on. Now, this exhaust is our Velocity Tuning titanium one. It's extremely lightweight and it's titanium. And what's funny is these cars don't have exhaust gas temperatures on them, but this is sort of like one, this colour chart. So as you can see at the front, it's got really hot, it's gone blue. As it gets to the midsection, we end up with this golden colour. And then as we get down to the back, most of the heat's gone and everything looks completely normal. We've got fresh fluid in the transfer case, the front diff, the rear diff, and the gearbox, of course. We've reset all the adaptations, and now we need to stick some miles on the car. I've got my little sidekick, Tommy Jr. with me, and we're gonna do 100 miles on this. So for you guys that are used to what we do with the dual clutch transmissions, you've seen that we do 500 miles on those, and then we redo the adaptations after. But on this car, it's more of a reset. So as I'm driving this, the car is learning at the moment, so I'm never gonna reset this again. Where with the DCTs, you're actually wearing down all the excess material, and then you have to teach the gearbox what the size of the clutch packs is again. So this is a much easier way to do it. I've got to do less miles, haven't got to do an adaptation process again, really happy with it. So getting back to these clutch packs. The clutch packs that came out of the car didn't look too bad. Now you could see that they weren't holding on, but I mean, we've pulled them out where you can literally spring load the clutches, and that's because they've got so hot that they've all distorted. Had none of that on my car, but for longevity, if you want to run big power, you're going to need to stick a gearbox in one of these, especially if you're interested in making use of things like quarter mile and 0 to 60. When it comes to the tuning, the gearbox tune on this is not XHP, and it's also not my own. For this car, I've used a guy called Sutphin Tuning. He's out in America, and he's the reason why my gearbox actually done so well. He was able to rework the clamping pressure, the way that it changes gear, and get my car to maximise the potential of that stock gearbox. So, at the moment, I'm back on a stock calibration just to bed this box in. Once that's been done, I'll be back in touch with Sutphin Tuning for a custom calibration for the Stage 2 transmission that's now been fitted in it. If you're using another tuner and you need a gearbox, then that's no problem for us. We will work with other companies, we'll work with you direct, and we can just get that gearbox side sorted for you. So if you've got a B58 with a HP 51, for example, and you want to be able to handle more power through your gearbox, we can help. And if you're in something like this, the G80, or maybe you've got an M5 and you want to get this level of gearbox uprated, again, we're able to do that for you. The turnaround on these is 1 to 2 days, so we're doing it pretty quickly. You can either drop the gearbox off or bring the car to us and we'll get all the work done for you, literally in a day's work. Back out in the G80, so this is the night after. No little Tommy with me tonight, and all the adaptation miles are done. About 1 o'clock in the morning, my friend over in America at Sutphin Tuning sent me over a custom file for this gearbox. So that takes into consideration my turbos, the fact that it is a Kotty transmission that's in here, and everything is optimized for that setup. Just like I do with data logs on the engine, I'll send him some data logs so he can see exactly what the transmission is doing, and he can dial it in further. But this is going to be the first time that I put my foot down with this built transmission and with his tune that's developed specifically for it. I've driven around with it gently on the way to work and away from work today, but I haven't experienced yet. To be honest, driving the car around normally, as you can see now, everything feels completely standard. You can't tell there's a gearbox tune in here. You can't tell that the gearbox has been built, which is perfect. But once I stick this into race mode, we're going to be able to tell that these shifts are absolutely ballistic. Well, we're in MDM Sport at the moment. I don't normally use that mode. And we're lighting up the back end. So we're gonna take that off. So the shifts were fast, but the back end was skating around quite a lot. Having the carbon ceramics comes in handy as well. So on a couple of those runs that I'd done, it felt like the car was getting a throttle closure, maybe due to too much wastegate. It was actually the traction kicking in, so now the tyres are warmer, I've got the traction off, and that problem that I thought I had is completely eliminated. I haven't driven this car for a couple of weeks, and I always forget how fast it is. It feels absolutely mental. What a crazy car. So fast. Well, if you want to know how the gearbox performs, I think there's the proof in the pudding. Literally, we've only just dropped this in, we've got the adaptations going on, and we're living our best life. What I'm going to do now is, I'm actually supposed to be going to the gym right now, but I've took a little detour with the camera out. So I'm going to carry on with my evening, and I'll see you guys back at the workshop. Back in the workshop, and you guys can now see that a gearbox upgrade does not have to be a long, hard process. Your car don't have to be off the road for weeks. You don't have to ship your gearbox off to other countries. This was a quick, easy, trouble-free process, and we can offer it for you as well. In terms of our shop car, next big upgrade for us is going to be rods and pistons. These are 5150 Carrillos, and we bought them from Tom Wrigley. We also got our lightweight Apex wheels from him a few months ago. So for you guys that need solid parts and someone that has a lot of knowledge on this platform as well, he's a good place to get them bits from. Our car is going to have this dropped in around 2 months' time. Unfortunately, we've got so much work on with the same-day ECU unlocks at the moment that this car needs to sit in the background for a bit. If the weather brightens up, we will be doing some quarter-mile work, but the next big thing for us will be this in a few months' time. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has been useful for you.